Hello, my name is Muhammad Yunus. I have 15 years of experience in fire protection industry. I have many certification like CFPS, CFI2, CFI1 and P license from India. So today I am presenting and explaining the task given by NFPA. It is related to NFPA 13. Let's start. NFPA 13. NFPA-13 is related to installation of sprinkler system. So like first task in installation of sprinkler system. So what is non-storage area? Non-storage area is defined in NFPA-13 in non-storage area in several contexts related to sprinkler protection, premises location in the building. Key points related to non-storage area is like it's included like small temporary occupied enclosure. It is limited to a maximum area not exceeding 24 square feet. Isolated non-storage area under stair prevention. There is stairs, under the stairs there is a area, so it is called no storage area. So, sign should be placed there. This is non-storage area and there is no storage place to be installed. Any type of furniture, any type of storage not allowed in this area. The next task is given by NFPA is primarily design factor, combustible loading and continuity of the combustible building design. And as per NFPA 13, the occupancy and hazard classification like combustible loading is based on quantity and combustibility of the content, heat release rate and total energy storage, height and presence of the flammable and combustible liquid. Correct classification of the critical equipment like sprinkler type, sprinkler spacing, density, area, design factor. Combustible concealed area is must be checked by combustible material and combustible construction. Sprinkler shall be omitted, can be omitted where the construction is non-combustible or limited combustible. Space is completely filled by non-combustible insulation. If combustible is present, additional sprinkler is required. Special design like minimum operating area 3000 square feet shall be required for unless the assumption applies. Third is building construction and combustible continuity. Sprinkler use of non-combustible, limited combustible in the construction help to limit the fire spread. Sprinkler may not be required in combustible spaces. Another task is next task is related to sprinkler location requirement. Sprinkler location requirement. There is a premises. So NFPA said that sprinkler shall be installed throughout the premises. Throughout the premises means fully occupied by the sprinkler. Sprinkler shall be located not exceed the maximum protection area per square sprinkler. Position and location of the sprinkler shall be satisfactory. Permitted to be omitted. Sprinkler shall be can be omitted from the specially allowed as per the NFPA 13. Deviation from clearance requirement shall be permitted where the impaired of the availability of the sprinkler to control or surpass the fire. Basic in sprinkler location requirement in given in NFPA 13 are covered in chapter number 13. There is a key principle like spacing rules and construction consideration. The general principle of sprinkler spacing like installation coverage. The key factors are protection area, permitted omission, special testing, effectiveness. Installation shall be installed throughout the premises and sprinkler shall be located to avoid exceeding the maximum protection area per sprinkler. Effectiveness like sprinkler shall be positioned and located ensure satisfactory performance. Sprinkler can be omitted in some area without sprinkler is allowed by the NFPA standards. Special testing required like deviation from the clearance near to the structural member are permitted when tested and verified non-impaired location. sorry, the clearance, ceiling clearance from ceiling to the sprinkler, there is a clearance shall be tested and ensure there is a compatible sensitivity and performance. Position and location and spacing shall be key factor are performance, objection, general placement, distance from the wall, distance from the sprinkler, all are shall be considered when the position and location and spacing the sprinkler. Next task is allowable sprinkler omission, location and special situation area as per NFPA 13 chapter number 9 is considered the omission. It explain the omission. Below is some of the relevant situation for sprinkler omission based on the standards, like general allowable sprinkler omission in specific area like concealed space. In concealed space formed by ceiling directly attached to the or within 6 inch of the wood joist or similar solid member construction do not require sprinkler, so we can omit the sprinkler in this location. The next location is exterior projection. Sprinkler can be omitted below projection like canopy, roof, deck, balcony, where construction are non-combustible or limited combustible or fire retardant treated wood material as defined in NFPA 703, or a non-combustible frame. Dwelling unit, in dwelling unit closest under 12 square feet in individual dwelling unit do not require sprinkler, where closest containing equipment must always be sprinkler. In cloud ceiling, sprinkler can be omitted above the cloud ceiling where opening around the cloud are less than or equal to the 20% of the total ceiling area. Space above the cloud are constructed or limited or non-combustible material. Some of the geographic and area condition as per the NFPA 13 chapter number 9 table 9.2.7 9.2.7.1. So we can omit the sprinkler. In electrical room we can omit the sprinkler. In some assumption may apply depending on the construction of the and use of the electrical room. This type of electrical equipment are installed there and type of the construction of the room. Non-combustible staircase, sprinkler may be not required in exterior non-combustible stairs tower as compliance with the other provision. Elevator, machine room and vertical shaft we can omit the sprinkler. In special features like skylight, yes, skylight situation depend on the skylight characteristics under the construction provision. We can omit the sprinkler in the skylight. And the conclusion for omission the sprinkler is like omission location listed is subject to the condition and construction material as per the outline of the chapter number 9 of the installation of the sprinkler NFPA 13. To determine compliance, understanding material composition, local hazard level, references is all required to omission the sprinkler. Another task is concealed space omission. Omitted the sprinkler in the concealed space. What concealed space may be not required a sprinkler if if the construction is non-combustible or limited combustible. Loading is minimum, space have no access, small opening used for air return, do not cancel the assumption, allowed opening like 20% of the plane and ceiling area, long gap greater than 4 feet, must be less than in 4 inch wide, limited access concealed space, we can omit the sprinkler. Small structure cavity, sprinkler are not required in solid joist cavity if this is less than 6 inch 150 mm between the member, so we can omit the sprinkler in this concealed area. If insulated concealed space is there, sprinkler space completely filled with non-combustible insulation, do not require sprinkler. Air gap up to 2 inch at the top is allowed. So small isolated compartmentation, concealed space above isolated compartmentation less than or greater around 55 square feet do not require sprinkler. And next task is omission of the sprinkler in exterior projection. Exterior projection. We can also under the ground floor exterior dock platform, we do not require a sprinkler. We can omit the sprinkler when some of the conditions are required in the exterior projection, like conditions are like space do not exceed for storage and protected by wind blowing, debris space content no requirement, no conveyor, no fuel heaters. Floor build is to prevent debris from falling, and non-combustible or flammable liquid are used to store above the space. Exterior projection like canopy, roof, balcony, deck, we can omit the sprinkler if it is built with non-combustible material, limited combustible material, fire retardant wood are used and meet the NFPA requirement, or non-combustible frame or fire resistance fabric as per NFPA requirement. Sprinkler may be omitted under some combustible projection like the exposed finish may be non-combustible, limited combustible, and concealed area are sprinkler or quality under these sprinkler shall be assumption. Special space completely filled with non-combustible insulation. And for light and ordinary hazard area, the area ceiling is attached to soling joist, creating enclosed space less than or equal to the 160 square feet. Concealed space area like small exterior projection less than 55 square feet, we can omit the sprinkler. We can omit the sprinkler. Next is we can omit the sprinkler. Omit the sprinkler in. We can omit the sprinkler in dwelling unit or hospital. In dwelling unit, we can omit the sprinkler in certain and small and risk space in dwelling unit, like these area are horizontally, show very few fire, low fire loads, and minimum fire risk requirement, like bathroom is not maybe we can omit the sprinkler in bathroom in some condition, like area is less than 55 square feet, located inside the dwelling unit, all wall or ceiling are non-combustible and limited combustible. So in this case we can omit the sprinkler in the bathroom of the dwelling unit. Additional allowance like a bathroom under stair do not require sprinkler. Sprinkler are required in some condition like limited care facility, like hospital, limited care facility, or nursing home, we required sprinkler. Bathroom that open directly to the public area, we cannot omit the sprinkler. Like penetree closest, we can omit the sprinkler, like if the penetree area is less than 24 square feet area, less than or equal to the 24 square feet area. Ceiling or wall are limited combustible or non-combustible, apply only to hotel, motel, guest room. Importance are that assumption do not apply on apartment, dormitory, nursing home. In this case we do not require sprinkler. In hospital we can omit the sprinkler if the closest area is less than 6 square feet. 6 square feet with 6 square feet area, we can omit the sprinkler. In hospital, distance from the sprinkler to the back wall or closest is within maximum wall distance is allowed by NFPA chapter number 9, we can omit the sprinkler. Next is we can omit the sprinkler also in the electrical room or enclosure. In electrical room we can omit the sprinkler if when the some condition is are meet, like room is dedicated only for the electrical equipment. No other equipment are allowed to use in the electrical room. Only for the following electrical equipment are insulated, like dry type, a liquid type with class K fluid. Room is fully enclosed with 2 hour fire ratings. This electrical room, if occupied with 2 hour fire rating enclosure, we can omit the sprinkler. No storage of any kind of permitted in this type of room. We can omit the sprinkler in the electrical room. Next, we can omit the sprinkler in the cloud ceiling. In cloud ceiling, we can omit the sprinkler if first, what is the cloud ceiling? Cloud ceiling is a floating and partial being installed on one horizontal plane with open gap or 2 or more sides, is allowing visibility and airflow to the structure above. This is cloud ceiling. We can omit the sprinkler above cloud ceiling if the some of the conditions are meet, like conditions are there is a gap between the cloud are very small gap with meet the table as described by the NFPA in chapter number 9, I think 9.2.7.1, and space above the cloud is low hazard, construction is limited, combustible and non-combustible, minimum combustible loading is present. The sprinkler requirement: when the sprinkler above cloud are omitted, the ceiling height, cloud ceiling height must be less than or equal to 20 square feet. Space and coverage do not exceed the spacing as required by light in the tables for light hazard, for ordinary hazard in the chapter number I think 10. With extended coverage sprinkler, we can omit the sprinkler in this type of situation in the cloud ceiling. Like irregular shape, we can omit the sprinkler if the smallest width of the cloud of the width is value the gap. Use the largest separation distance between the cloud and the wall. We can omit the sprinkler. In simple terms, we can omit the sprinkler above the cloud ceiling if cloud ceiling are very small gap, the gap meet the requirement of the NFPA table chapter 9. Ceiling height is less than 20 square feet, less than or equal to 20 feet, we can omit the sprinkler. The above area of the cloud ceiling is non-combustible and minimum combustible load. So in this situation, we can omit the sprinkler in cloud ceiling area. We can also omit the sprinkler in elevators, hostway. We can omit the sprinkler, and if this area is non-accessible, shaft at the top not required sprinkler, shaft construction is non-combustible or limited combustible. In elevator area or elevator hostway or machine room, sprinkler may be omitted. In elevator machine room, machinery space, control rooms, control space, hostway. So we can, in this area, we can omit the sprinkler. Elevator pit do not require sprinkler. Sprinkler omission allowed if such condition is required, like no storage of the non-elevator material is allowed. Elevator equipment is non-hydraulic. The space is dedicated only for elevator use. Hydraulic elevator, like non-combustible hydraulic fluid is required. Top of the hydraulic hostway also does not require sprinkler. Thus, non-combustible or limited combustible elevators are there. We can, no sprinkler is required at the top of the hostway when the hostway is non-combustible or elevator car enclosure material comply the ASTM requirement as described by the NFPA. So we can omit the sprinkler in this situation. The next task is we can omit the sprinkler in the stairway guidelines or skyway or open grid ceiling. We can omit the sprinkler also in this situation, like sprinkler at the bottom of the stairways. We can omit the sprinkler. Sprinkler may be omitted under the first landing of the bottom of the stair shaft when space is below the fully blocked of the preventing storage. In exterior stair towers, we can omit the sprinkler if exterior wall are greater than or equal to 50% of the open stair tower is entirely non-combustible construction, and in open grid area maybe sprinkler not required. Below open grid ceiling system when they meet the requirement of the chapter number 9 and table I think 9.3.10. So we can omit the sprinkler in open grid ceiling also if they follow the table describes. In skylight, sprinkler may be omitted in skylight that comply the requirement in that as described by NFPA 13 chapter number 9 table number 9.3.16 maybe. So we can omit the sprinkler in the skylight also. In the glazing area we can also omit the sprinkler if it is used glazing as an alternative to the fire rated walls or window, but the assembly meet of the some of the condition like correct sprinkler type use listed sprinkler application for the window sprinkler, and system type must be equipped with wet type of sprinkler system. Glazing requirement must be heat strengthening tempered or glass ceramic. Glazing must be fixed in place. It is not be operable, it must be fixed. So we can omit the sprinkler. Projection on both sides in this code require fire protection from both the sides. Installed sprinkler on both the side of the glazing. In this situation, structural requirement, glazing can be replaced with non-load bearing. Water distribution requirement, no horizontal framing or member or block water flow. The water supply must be operate at least the same time at required the fire resistance rating of for wall window being replaced. Sprinkler temperature, the next task is use of sprinkler and sprinkler temperature sensitivity for orifice. In NFPA 13 chapter number 9 describe this. Section number 9.4 describe about this use of sprinkler. Selection of sprinkler is the most key concept in the depend of the sprinkler, like hazard type, ceiling height, water supply, space layout, listing limitation. NFPA 13 requires sprinkler to be used only for listed and suitable for the intended purpose of the use. General selection principles, just some condition if required to be like extended coverage sprinkler, reduce pipe labor but not be required. High temperature residential sprinkler are optimized for residential fuel load and provide around 20% of the water demand reductions. CMSA and ESFR sprinkler are designed for the storage occupancy. Higher ceiling required like K factor for better droplet space geometry. Also the factor like garage exterior corridor determined whether upright or pendant or dry type or sprinkler is required. General requirement like sprinkler should be listing and there is installed as per the fitting before the solvent computation. Protection cap shall be removed as per the manufacturer instruction and must be removed before it is in the service in the place in the service. Temperature rating of the sprinkler, the correct temperature shall be selected for based on the type and hazard. For the ordinary and intermediate temperature sprinkler may be used unless higher rating is required. High ceiling temperature, like if ceiling temperature is greater than 100 degree Fahrenheit, use sprinkler rating as per the table given by the chapter number 7. Location required for higher temperature rating, near heating duct, steam main, heaters, and this is all depend on the intermediate and high temperature sprinkler should be required. In this condition, a specific heat source, commercial cooking, cooler, heater, this all required high temperature sprinkler. And thermal sensitivity of the sprinkler, light hazard occupancy must be used, quick type sprinkler, QR, CMS sprinkler, ESFR or sprinkler in a compartmentation must be same response type, not different type. Sprinkler shall be used in the same space. So same type of rating sprinkler shall be required in the same space. The K factor as described is K factor is 5.6 aspect when permitted. Smaller K factor less than 5.6 is permitted in light hazard when the conditions are met, like hydraulic calculation is required, strainer is required. If the K factor is less than 2.8, occupancy, ordinary hazard group 2 occupancy with ceiling greater than or equal to 30 square feet sprinkler must be required with the K factor greater than 11.2. In final summary, sprinkler is required based on type, temperature rating, sensitivity, K factor, and installation orientation are suitable for hazard environment, ceiling height, and shall be listed. The next topic is location and spacing guidelines. Location and spacing guidelines for sprinkler. Spacing guidelines for sprinkler. The general requirement for the sprinkler shall be installed in the space and position strictly described by NFPA-13 chapter number 9. Each sprinkler must be covered as designated area. Sprinkler architecture shall be niche for ordinary and light hazard area do not require some sprinkler if added area is less than or equal to 18 square feet or depth is less than or equal to 2 square feet. Protection per sprinkler is very important. Protection per sprinkler. For example, we have this area, the sprinkler, one sprinkler protection area is this area. So this is very important. So we require here we required 6 sprinkler, for example, in this case. So protection per sprinkler is very important. This is twice the distance of the nearest wall. Sprinkler spacing shall be measured and covered along with the ceiling. Distance from the wall shall be considered for the spacing from the sprinkler. A minimum distance between the sprinkler and deflector position and orientation shall be required. Orientation should be parallel to the ceiling roof, and any of type of obstruction not required. Obstruction greater less than or equal to 18 inch the below deflector special supplementary sprinkler shall be required in this case. And next topic is standard sprinkler installation. The chapter 10 is described standard sprinkler installation. Is pendant type, is upright or sidewall sprinkler shall be selected as per the chapter number 10. Standard pendant upright sprinkler shall be aspect and modified in chapter number 10. Pendant and upright sprinkler are allowed in all hazard occupancy and construction type. Quick response sprinkler not allowed in extra hazard by using the density area method. The protection per sprinkler table, how to calculate, is required by S into L. This is the method to use. There is a table 10.2.4.1. there is many tables. So for the light hazard, for ordinary hazard, for extra hazard, this depend on the spacing. So we can use this table. For ordinary hazard group greater than 30 feet, standard response type of sprinkler are not allowed in ordinary hazard group 2. Sprinkler spacing for pendant and upright shall be used the table described in chapter number 10 in this case. And what is distance from the wall shall be half of the maximum space from the table. For a small room, a sprinkler shall be up to 9 feet from the single wall. Curved surface should be from horizontal distance at the floor level. Minimum from wall greater than equal to 4 inch. Between sprinkler is greater than equal to 6 feet unless baffle are installed in rack sprinkler. Now deflector position for pendant and upright sprinkler in unobstructed construction. This is 1 to 12 inch in the below ceiling. Obstructed construction for permitted arrangement like deflector 1 to 6 inch in the below ceiling, beam joist or not more than 12 inch in the table as described. And for the deflector in the peaked roof is less than or equal to 36 inch in vertical below the roof deck shall be installed. And double joist condition, 2 set of open joist, normally sprinkler above and below is required in lower joist if the clearance is greater than or equal to 6 inch. Deflector orientation always parallel to the ceiling, roof, stairs. All roof shall be under slope. A deflector parallel to the floor. Next is the curtains or partition if is there in light hazard area. The distance of the privacy curtains must be follow the tables as described in chapter number 10. Chapter number 10, obstruction is greater than 18 inch in below deflector. If obstruction is greater than 4 inch wide, interrupted discharge greater than 4 inch in the below deflector required, and follow the table as described in chapter number 9. And clearance to storage pendant and upright sprinkler, standard clearance deflector to the top of the storage greater than 18 inch. For rubber tire, clearance should be greater than or equal to 36 inch shall be required in the deflector positions. In ceiling pocket, sprinkler shall be required in all ceiling pocket aspect. A total unprotected pocket volume is less than or less than or equal to 1000 square feet. And side wall standard spray sprinkler is required in section as per the chapter number 9. And side wall sprinkler may be used for light hazard. A smooth, flat and slope ceiling required. For ordinary hazard, smooth, flat ceiling is required and should be listed and less than or greater equal to the 30 square feet or high. For protection area, AS for side wall, what is AS? Is S equal to L. What is S here? S is along wall is distance from sprinkler between sprinkler using 2 walls, distance from the next sprinkler. AS as described in chapter number 10 for light hazard up to 196 square feet. For ordinary hazard around 100 to 80 to 100 square feet. For and from the side wall it should be 196 square feet. Spacing for side wall, maximum distance between side wall as per the table number 10, chapter number 10. It is minimum from end wall is greater than or equal to 4 inch. Under overrated door for ordinary hazard, light hazard spacing rules allowed for this benefit door. And for the and other part is like obstruction less than 18 inch in below deflector. The basic rule is applied that keep sprinkler is greater than 3 into obstruction. This is the rule should be applied. Clearance to the storage from side wall deflector at top of the storage is required greater than equal to 18 inch. Slabbing not directly below the sprinkler shall be projected above the 18 inch in the plane. So this is the topic from me today. Sir, thank you very much. This is from my side as given by the NFPA 13 NFPA code 13, and that is from my side. Thank you very much.